Hello and welcome to English for Everyone, where we practice real-life American English. Today I'm walking around my neighborhood in California, but we're not going to learn vocabulary around the neighborhood today. We're going to learn to avoid some important mistakes. So let's get started. First, this is not correct.
In English, it sounds blunt to call strangers by lady. It's better to say miss or just excuse me.
It sounds blunt to call strangers by lady. We don't use by here. You call strangers lady, not by lady. And let's talk about blunt. Blunt is a good word. It means you go right to the point, maybe too much. If I'm blunt, I say, hey, what's your name? And if I'm not blunt, I say, hey, how are you doing today? And by the way, could I get your name? That's not blunt. But hey, what's your name? That's blunt. You see the difference? So again, the idea. It sounds blunt to call strangers lady, not by lady, just lady. And it's true, it sounds blunt to call strangers lady. Hey lady. Yeah, that sounds blunt. So we don't say call strangers by lady. When do you use by? You can use call with by when you say, call me by my name. I can call him by his first name, or I can call him by his last name, or just I can call him by name. These are all correct examples when we use call with by. Let's practice. Can you call him by his first name? That's right, you can call him by his first name. Can you call him by his last name? That's right, you can call him by his last name. But we cannot say you can call strangers by lady. No, you call strangers lady, but it's blunt. This is also not correct.
For example, if you want to get a waitress' attention, you could say, excuse me, ma'am.
If you want to get a waitress' attention, when we talk about attention here, we need possessive. My attention, your attention, his attention, and her attention. So if I use possessive for waitress, it's waitresses. I need to put the apostrophe S and say says, waitresses. So again, if you want to get a waitress's attention, this is correct. So let's complete the idea. If you want to get a waitress's attention, you say, excuse me. Not, hey lady, you say, excuse me. Let's practice. What do you say if you want to get a waitress's attention? That's right, if you want to get a waitress's attention, just say, excuse me. And just a little extra information. You don't have to say waitress or waiter. You could just say server for either one. I think it's easier that way. If it's a boy, it's a server. If it's a girl, it's a server. Yeah, that's easier. And don't say this either.
Your phone was taken by the thief, so that's why you need me to call the police for you.
Your phone was taken by the thief? In this case, in this situation, we do not say the thief, because I don't know what thief you're talking about. We have to say a thief. Your phone was taken by a thief. Example, her phone was taken by a thief. What thief? I don't know. That's why we say a thief. It's one in general. One I haven't heard about. One of many. So example, her phone was taken by a thief. Let's practice. Was her phone taken by a thief? That's right, her phone was taken by a thief. And this is correct.
Oh, but call the police for me now. They need to find the thief.
They need to find the thief. Now we use the thief because you're talking about a specific one. You've already mentioned what happened about a thief. Her phone was taken by a thief, and now we need to find the thief. Now we use the because you're referring to something that you already mentioned. This is correct. We need to find the thief. Let's practice. Do we need to find the thief? That's right, we need to find the thief. So again, when you first mention something, you use a when it's a person, a thief. And when you refer to it again, after you've already mentioned it, then you say the thief. We need to find the thief. Thank you for watching, and keep watching to practice more with real-life American English. Today we're going to learn to avoid some common mistakes. So let's get started. First, we all know the rule about countable nouns. Before a consonant, we use a, pronounced a. Example, a house, a car. And before a vowel or a vowel sound, we use an, pronounced Example, an orange, an apple. But unfortunately, it's not that simple. There are some exceptions we need to take a look at. Let's get started. The first exception is the letter U. The letter U has a short sound, Example, umbrella. Is a vowel sound, so we say an, pronounced an umbrella. An umbrella. This is an umbrella. But if I use the long U sound, example, uniform, U phonetically starts with a consonant sound, like in yellow, uniform. So we cannot say an uniform. We have to say a uniform. He's wearing a uniform. Other examples with the long U sound, unicorn, a unicorn, or university, a university. So remember, if a word starts with a long U, phonetically, that's a consonant sound, so we say a uniform, a unicorn, a university. Our next exception is this word. This is spelled with an O, which is a vowel, but the word is pronounced one. One. W is a consonant sound. So phonetically, the first sound is a consonant sound. One. So, a 1 hour meeting. It's not correct to say an one, it's a one. A 1 hour meeting. They're having a 1 hour meeting. The meeting's going to last 1 hour. So it's a 1 hour meeting. Our next exception is the silent H. If the H is silent, then phonetically it starts with a vowel. So we do not say a hour. It's an hour. An hour. Because the H is silent. It starts with a vowel sound. An hour. Other examples, an honest person. The H is silent with honest, so it's an, pronounced an honest person. He looks like an honest person. The word honor has a silent H, so we say an honor. It's an honor to meet you. And the word herb. Herb and herbal both have a silent H, so it's an herb salad. This is an herb salad. So remember the rule, but also remember these important exceptions, so you will avoid mistakes and sound more natural when speaking. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, subscribe to our channel. And if you want to become a member, click the join button, and we'll see you next time.